Ladies and gentlemen, if you're coming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, or Twitter, please hit that like button, tag somebody, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody. Let them know that we're going live. We are live, and we're kicking off our show today at 12 o'clock noon. We got about 5 minutes, so I'm trying to get on a little early so we can give everybody an opportunity to come on and invite your family members, your friends, your fellow tribe members. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter. Just in case you out there with Elon Musk on Mars, I want you to tag Lolly Dolly everybody. Let them know that we about to go in. 12 o'clock. How's everybody doing today? I was going to say this afternoon, but it's still morning, technically. Yeah, we're live. We live, baby. We live. Say what? We are live. IG, if you are available, I want you to join us over here at YouTube and Facebook, Twitch, or one of the two. How's everybody doing today? If you're coming on, I want you to hit that like button, please. Hit that share button. Say what? Do me a favor and tag Lolly Dolly, everybody. Let them know that we are live. The Ramone Preston Show is live. We kick off every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon. So we're about 2 or 3 minutes away from kicking it off. I got an awesome discussion that I want to have with y'all today. So please make sure that you tag somebody. If you got any questions prepared, feel free to drop them in the comments. Or you can call us live. 404-478-7213. If you call us, we don't have the best technological capabilities. However, you can call live, and we will put you on speakerphone to answer your question. 404-478-7213. Wherever you're watching from, please drop the name of your city in the comments. Even if it's not for you, it may be for others who come on, just to know that they have other tribe members watching in their city, in their area. Thank you to every one of you. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter. If you were Elon Musk on Mars, thank you so much for being a part of the Ramone Preston Show. Thank you so much for participating, for sharing our lives and our posts. Thank you so much for giving us your feedback, your eyes, your ears, your time, your engagement. It means everything, especially with what the assignment is that God has given to me in this season. This assignment is very specific. It is central to biblical economics. And for someone who has been a prophet and a prophetic leader in the gospel ministry like I have for 21 years now, doing what I'm doing at this season and with this assignment, is very important to have the love, the prayers, and the support of our tribe, of our family members and friends. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting everything that we're doing, for supporting the Ramone Preston Show. Welcome to the Ramone Preston Show. We come every Monday through Friday like we have for the past 7 weeks now at 12 o'clock noon, educating you, encouraging you, enlightening you, informing you on the most important aspects of financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, investments, family legacy, wealth building, all things that are central to biblical economics. That's what my assignment is, and that's what we are endeavoring to do. Almost everything, if not everything, that we discuss on this show through this platform is a part of my own personal playbook, which is what has been built around our Blueprint Game Plan program. Our Blueprint Game Plan program is a 5-step wealth building system that provides online virtual education and training on our university platform. And so everything that we talk about and discuss on the Ramone Preston Show has been built into that Blueprint Game Plan program. Everything that we discuss on this show is directly connected to and associated with our coaching program that we have, our consulting firm that we have, and everything that we do. It's about educating you. It's about empowering you. It's about enlightening you, heightening your awareness on biblical economics, especially if you are a part of the faith community. So welcome to the Ramone Preston Show. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Today, I want to continue the theme that we have decided to highlight this week, which is on investments. This is a very critical time of the year for millions and millions of people. Surveys and statistics and stats and studies all show that over 80% of working class Americans, that's 8 out of 10 people who work in the United States of America, are not only receiving income tax returns, but are receiving those returns because they're not aware of or they're oblivious to certain things concerning economics. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to designate this entire week around the theme of investing, because if you anything like me, when you get a little windfall of money, whether it's a couple thousand or 5 or 6 or 7,000, most people like me and maybe you who get a windfall, we think about what can we do with this windfall of money we get, this lump sum of money that we get that can actually multiply that money. What can we do to preserve that money? In other words, we're looking for ways to invest. If you watched the show yesterday, it was an awesome show yesterday. That was really good. I talked about 3 of the best ways to invest. That was yesterday's show. If you missed it, feel free to go back into the archives if you're on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, just go back into the video playlist and you'll see 3 of the best ways to invest. We talked about investing in yourself. We talked about investing in your own business. And we talked about investing into other business systems. And so today, keeping the theme, staying true to what we want to focus our attention on this week, I want to talk about how to use a holding company to invest. How do you use a holding company to invest? Now, I'm connecting it to yesterday's show because I gave you 3 of the best ways to invest. If you get an income tax return, or if at any point in your life you ever get a big lump sum of money, you have some type of financial windfall, which for most people, if they don't hit the lottery, it's going to be the hood lottery. It's going to be an income tax return, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000, maybe $3,000 or $4,000, but that's still enough money for you to at least take some time to figure out how can you invest some of it and what is the best way to invest it. And so we talked about you investing in yourself. Of course, you have to invest in your education, you got to invest in relationships, and you have to invest in automation, or in other words, you have to invest in simplifying your life. It's just some things that are not worth your time for you doing. So that means you might have to outsource cutting the grass. You might have to outsource cleaning your clothes. You might have to outsource certain tasks that you are doing that are not necessarily below you, but your time and your efforts can be allocated to things that can get you further quicker. That's what we all should be investing in. That's how you invest in yourself. Now, when it comes to you investing in your business, well, the first aspect of your business is your finances. So if you got money, investing in your business is seen in how you start managing your money better, which means you might invest in downloading an app, which you could do that for free today. You ain't even got to spend any of your money. You just download an app, you start creating a budget or a spending plan. You learn to track your income and expenses. If you're not good at it, you might want to invest in a class or a course on accounting, or you just go to YouTube and you just brain dump and binge for a couple hours to figure out how to track your income. But investing in your business, although it begins with your finances, that's pushing us into what I want to talk about today, because you have to invest in a business system for yourself. Because the third way to invest is in other business systems. But before you invest in other business systems, you want to invest in your own business system. That means even if you're still working on a job, or let's say you ain't got no job, you unemployed, you in between seasons, or you're on a fixed income, you can still start a business, because it is to your advantage to start a business. You've heard me say this many times. We should all, as people of faith, especially black people in the black community, we should all own businesses. Every family should own at least one business. And if it was up to me to help you own that business, I would highly recommend and suggest that the business that you own is structured around the holding company concept. So that's what brings us to our discussion today, how to use a holding company to invest. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop those questions in the comments. I would love to answer any questions that you might have concerning finances, concerning entrepreneurship, concerning business, concerning a holding company, concerning investing. If you got questions, if you're trying to figure out how you can take $1,000 or a couple thousand of your income tax return dollars and invest them, feel free to drop that question in the comments, or just give us a call. At the end of this show, I'm going to give you an opportunity to connect with us, because we have some amazing things that we are doing for the remainder of this calendar year into next year, 2022, and they are designed to really help you scale your finances, scale your business, even scale your ministry if you call to the gospel ministry. So how to use a holding company to invest? Well, first of all, you need to start a holding company. If you already have a company started or an LLC already established, and it's not categorized in the Secretary of State system as a holding company, there are a couple things that you can do, okay? One thing you can do is go to a lawyer who's an expert specializing in starting and structuring companies, and you can see if, in fact, that lawyer, that expert, that attorney, someone who knows what they're doing, can recategorize that LLC for you, which means there's going to be a cost associated to that. A lot of people that ask me about this that have LLCs, but they didn't start their LLCs as holding companies, A lot of people that ask me what they need to do to create a holding company or to restructure their current LLC as a holding company, I ask them other questions before I tell them that. I ask them, is your company making money? Are you filing taxes with your company? Because basically, if you just got a dead company, which means you got an LLC, you got an EIN, but you ain't really making no money and doing nothing with it, a lot of times it's just best to dissolve it and then to just start a new company fresh and file it correctly as a holding company. That needs to be the first thing that you do. In the perfect world, you want your first company to be a holding company. Yeah, but Prophet Ramone, I'm selling t-shirts. Prophet Ramone, I'm selling shoes. Prophet Ramone, I'm doing hair. It doesn't matter what you're doing on an operational level. It still needs to be under the umbrella of a holding company. All right? I think we got a couple questions. If you have any questions, drop the questions in the comments. All right, Siobhan says, I got a question, a serious question, but I'm going to just call you and ask you about it. It's got to do with the business and taxes. Okay. Okay, so just give me a call and let me know what the question is. Right, exactly. Somebody else might have the same question, Vaughn. We need to know what the question is. So before we get into how to use a holding company to invest, let's start with the holding company itself. So if you are a W-2 employee, or if you're on a fixed income, or let's say you ain't got no job, and you're listening to me and you're like, should I start a company? Yes, even if you got a job. Even if you don't got a job. Well, what if I don't have no ideas? What if I don't have no purpose? What if I ain't got no products and services? We'll figure that out once you start the company. Because see, a lot of times your creativity, and this for free, your creativity follows your commitment. That was for free. I say your creativity follows your commitment. So once you make the commitment to do something, your creativity opens up. In other words, you're going to get creative to figure out what you're going to do now that you've committed to do it. So I would say you need to start your holding company first. You need to file your paperwork. You need to structure your LLC as a holding company. If you already have a company, a business, and it is industry specific, which means it's not categorized as a holding company, again, you're either going to go to a professional, an expert like an attorney, and have them redo your paperwork and restructure it the legal way, or you're going to just dissolve that company and start a new company, which will probably be more, less than going and redoing your current company, as long as you're educated on it and know exactly what you need to do. That's for another conversation I'll have at the end if you don't know how to do it, okay? So you want to start your holding company, or if you already have one, you need to either dissolve it or restructure it so that it can be as a holding company. That's the foundation, because how are you going to use a holding company to invest?
Okay, hold on, Bob.
How are you going to use a holding company to invest if, in fact, you don't have a holding company? All right, we got somebody calling in. What's the question?
Okay, this is my question. So you know, with the company, Tony and our company. Okay. Dog, gotta put my business in the streets. So you know, I owe the government, so I don't have like my name on anything.
Right.
With Tony.
Because
I'm behind with my taxes because of how I do my W-4.
I get it.
I work.
Right.
Because I always work. Okay, but you know how when you work and you have your company, you're able to, like you taught us, you can transfer your Social Security number in for your EIN.
Right.
Job. To help you with your taxes.
That's if you're a 1099. You can't do that as an employee.
Oh.
No, you can't do that as an employee.
At your job.
Yeah, at your job, you're an employee.
Oh, Okay. Well, that kills the question right there. Because I had that part wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the next question was going to be, okay, if I transfer that, would they take anything from my company? Because I owe.
No, they're not going to take anything. In a situation like that, they're not going to take anything away from your company because your company provides you the legal protection. Your company is not you. It's a separate entity. It has its own social security number called the EIN number. But when you are working for an employer and you fill out a W-4 form, that makes you an employee. You can't give them your EIN number as an employee. And
got you. That's what I thought you were saying all the time.
No, you can't give them a number. No, you can readjust your W-4 form to lower your tax liability as a W-2 employee, but the only way you can switch your Social Security number for a EIN is if you're an independent contractor.
I got you.
So if you're working for a company as an independent contractor and they're issuing you a 1099, you can request for them to put your EIN on that form and for them to write those checks to you, to your company as opposed to you. Get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah, so that don't apply to a W-2.
Womp.
Womp, womp, womp. Thank you for calling in. Hey, y'all, we getting questions called in. I appreciate everybody with the interaction and the engagement. So back to my point that I was making on before you use a holding company to invest, you have to start a holding company. So if you have a LLC and it is not categorized as a holding company, then you're either going to have to go pay a lawyer to redo your paperwork because you didn't do it right the first time, or you're going to dissolve that LLC and you're going to start a new LLC and properly categorize that LLC as a holding company. Well, what about my business that I'm doing? You're going to start another business under your holding company. This is bringing me to the conversation on how to use a holding company to invest. See, here's how you use a holding company to invest. Once you start the holding company, your holding company is going to be your parent company. Your holding company is going to be the umbrella. It's going to be the company that sits on the top of the mountain. Your holding company is designed to hold other companies, hold intellectual property, hold real estate investments, hold copyrights, hold interest in other businesses. That's what your holding company is designed for. We got a question.
Question on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
What are the best access protection strategies for holding companies for real estate?
Asset protection?
Uh-huh.
Is it what
What are the best
what are the best asset protection strategies
for holding companies with real estate?
The best asset protection strategies for holding real estate. One more time.
Okay.
Read the question one more time.
What are the best assets protection strategies for holding companies with real estate?
The best asset protection strategy will be for your holding company to start a real estate investment company, or for every real estate deal that you do, I would, in most cases, separate each deal. And each deal, let's say, for example, if you have 5 different real estate deals that you're doing, property 1, property 2, property 3, property 4, property 5, unless those properties are like the same kind of properties, like, for example, if all 5 of those properties are like $20,000 trailers, then you might be able to bundle all 5 of them, those deals, into one real estate company. But if you got like a duplex, you got like a retail plaza, you got a triplex, you got 2 or 3 single family homes, I would separate each of those real estate deals in their own LLC. Now the LLC for property 1, the LLC for property 2, the LLC for property 3, the LLC for property 4, and the LLC for property 5, all of those LLCs are owned by the holding company. You're not going to put that property in the holding company, because if you put that property in the holding company, you just expose your whole holding company. So let's say if your holding company owns copyrights, let's say if your holding company owns interests in 3 or 4 other companies, and then you put a piece of real estate in your holding company outside of it being in an LLC that's owned by your holding company, and somebody gets hurt on that property, they're going to sue the owner of that piece of property, which is your holding company. So each of your real estate deals, the best asset protection strategy is for you to put each of those real estate assets in their own holding company that is owned by the holding company. So if I got 5 real estate properties that I'm using for investment purposes, I'm going to put 5 properties in 5 LLCs. And all 5 of those LLCs are going to be owned by one LLC called the holding company. So if anything happened to property 1, it's not going to affect properties 2, 3, 4, and 5 because they are separate LLCs. And it's not going to affect my holding company because it's its own entity. So that would be the best strategy for asset protection with real estate. And I highly recommend, anytime you're doing a real estate deal, do it under your holding company. And that was really a good question because it kind of segues into how you use a holding company to invest. You have your holding company at the top. You're going to use your holding company to own other assets. One of the first things that you are going to do with your parent company, your holding company, is you're going to start an operating company. So let's say, for example, if you provide a certain service or if you sell certain products, you don't have to provide those services and sell those products through your holding company. You're going to once you establish your holding company, you're going to start another LLC, number 2. And instead of you being the owner of LLC number 2, you're going to put your company down as the owner for LLC number 2. So now the holding company owns a subsidiary. That subsidiary is a wholly owned company by the holding company. And then that operating company is going to provide that service, provide that product. This is how you use a holding company to invest. So let's say if you want to write a book, well, you might start another company and call that your publishing company, owned by your holding company. Well, let's say if you want to do a real estate deal on the side, you're going to start LLC number 3. And LLC number 3 is going to be owned by your holding company. So you can have multiple operating companies, multiple investment companies, multiple licensing companies, multiple entities or subsidiaries under your holding company or under those companies. And one of the reasons why that is such a splendid way of investing is because if operating company number 1 makes a lot of money, operating company number 1 is going to have a lot of taxes that they're going to have to pay on the money that they made. But operating company number 1 is owned by a holding company that also owns investment company number 4. So the holding company can tell operating company number 1, I want your pre-tax revenue. I want the money you made before you paid taxes. I'm going to take it, push it up, and then I'm going to bring it over to investment company number 4, which means on my balance sheet, when I do my taxes for my holding company, the increase for operating company number 1 or the revenue for operating company number 1, the pre-tax income that came through operating company number one was lowered, if not moved and just like literally just obliterated, because I had an expense in operating company or investment company number four that I dropped that money in, which means that money has been invested and distributed out, if that makes sense.
They was like, great advice, thank you so much. Another question on YouTube. Can you create a holding company after you already have a corporation and put this corporation under the holding company?
Yes, you can, but that is a legal transaction that you really, the question is, can you take an existing corporation and put it under a new holding company? In order for you to do something like that, you need to have an attorney, somebody who specializes in drafting the right paperwork and making those legal transactions and transfers correctly. And you're going to pay for that. It happens every day. There are companies that do mergers and acquisitions all the time. Sometimes they dissolve the existing company and just move all the assets to a new company. But I would recommend you speak to an expert, an attorney who specializes in mergers or acquisitions or starting and structuring companies, because they will know the proper documents that are needed for you to take an existing corporation and transfer the ownership of that existing corporation to a new holding company. I would do that. And again, a lot of times I'm talking to small business owners or solopreneurs or just people who doing something on the side while they working a job. So when I encourage them or just recommend them to dissolve an existing company, it's because that company is actually dead. They not really making no money. They ain't filing taxes. They ain't got nothing going on. They just got a good idea on paper. They got an LLC article. They got an EIN number. So a lot of times we just erase that, dissolve it, and start fresh. But if you got a company that's booming and you want to put that under a holding company, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not an expert, I'm not an attorney. You're gonna have to go to someone who specializes in that, because you never want any backlash or something to come back and realize, oh, I done went to Office Depot, I done listened to some internet guru that told me, oh, all I gotta do is draft this up and draft that up, and then you find yourself in some issue thinking, wow, I made a big mistake that's gonna cost you way more than what it would have cost you if you would have went to an attorney or somebody who specializes in it. So that's what I would say. So this is how you use a holding company to invest. And this, y'all, I'm telling you, this is the game. You got that holding company as your parent company. That's your umbrella company, right? Then under your holding company, your parent company, I'm gonna see if I can pull that up real quick. I was trying to pull up my, I think I have it on my, I just got a sketch. There it is right here. I'm gonna just pull that up to show y'all. Okay, we got a little something going. Let's go, baby. Come on through here, Prophet. Huh? Show me what you're working with, Prophet. If you got any questions, you better drop them questions in the comments. We talking about investing all week. And today we're talking about how to use a holding company to invest. So if you see, this is one of my examples right here. You have holding company example. So this is holding company LLC. This is the name of your holding company. You don't have to use the word holdings. If you are familiar with our Blueprint Game Plan online training program, you know I teach on having a company legacy and choosing a correct company name, because your holding company is going to be your legacy company. This is going to be your Walton Enterprises. Okay, if you're familiar with Walmart, if you're familiar with Sam's Club, we got another question.
Yeah, they said, do you continue to pay yourself from the corporation of the holding company?
Yes, yes. If your holding company is a LLC, you're not actually on salary. If your holding company is a LLC, you're getting members draw or members distribution from that. Of course, if it's a C Corp or S Corp, you can actually put yourself on salary. But yes, you're going to take a salary from your holding company because this is your parent company, okay? This is your Walton Enterprises. If you're familiar with Walmart and Sam's Club, well, they're owned by Walton Enterprises. Walton Enterprises is the holding company, okay? So under Walton Enterprises, you have Sam's Clubs, you have Walmart and corporations. So for you that are looking to use a holding company to invest, this needs to be your holding company. So that's why I keep telling people, this don't need to be your tree trimming company or your hair salon company. This doesn't need to be your apparel company. This doesn't need to be your transportation service company. Any operational company that you're doing, that you're providing products and services through, doesn't need to be your holding company. Your holding company needs to be the company that holds your tree trimming business. It needs to be the company that holds your book publishing business. It needs to be the holding company that holds your investments into other businesses with other salon owners. It needs to be the company that holds your real estate. So now all of these companies are owned by the company that you are actually running.
So once before,
We got some more questions coming in.
so somebody said on YouTube, why don't more online gurus talk about holding companies?
I don't know. I don't know why a lot of online gurus don't talk about holding companies. I think, and I'm just guessing, I think a lot of online gurus don't know about holding companies. I know people who are making a lot of money and doing a lot of things that don't own holding companies. They just have operating companies. So in order for you to know this kind of stuff, you have to either have taken a lot of time like I have to self-educate, or you have to be around real wealthy people, because a lot of people who got money, I'm talking about like who might be making 6 figures, 7 figures, they might even be millionaires. I personally know people who were making millions of dollars and didn't have this type of enterprise conglomerate set up. So for me personally, I really believe a lot of internet social media gurus don't understand business. They might understand sales. They might understand social media marketing. They might understand the digital world, but they don't necessarily understand business. That's why a lot of those internet gurus are capping. They around there looking like they got it going on. They around there, we was talking about somebody yesterday, I'm not gonna name that person's name, but we were talking about that big time person who's real big in the public media, but they don't have no organizational enterprise. They're just a personality, and their personality has gotten them a lot of relevance, a lot of attention, and they're making good money, but they don't have an organizational enterprise set up. So the people that I have observed, and me educating myself about this, the people that I have observed who talk about this are filthy rich. They're wealthy. They're not just millionaires. Any book or any information that I have gathered on holding companies, on family trusts, on like real wealth building through enterprises and conglomerates, has all been coming from wealthy people. When I say wealthy, I'm talking about billion-dollar companies, multi-billion-dollar companies. Those are the only companies that talk about it. So, got another question? Okay.
So do you make bank accounts for each one?
Yeah. The question is, do you make bank accounts for each one? Yes. You want to have this is going to be your main bank account right here. This is your main holding company. Now, depending on what type of tax strategist you work with or CPA, because at this level, you ain't going to H&R Block now. God dog, you ain't going no bootleg accountant. At this level, you're paying a CPA, a tax strategist, a firm to help you understand the complexities, because now you're getting into financial accounting complexities, you're getting into tax complexities. But this the game. This the game. This how you get to your next level. If you ain't playing this game, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. If you're not playing this game, you're not gonna win, okay? So to answer the question, do you need separate bank accounts? Yes. Now your accounting system is going to have what they call a general ledger. So your main accounting system for Ramone Preston Enterprises, this is my holding company, Ramone Preston Enterprises. So I have a general ledger, which means when I look at my accounting system, my general ledger for my holding company, Ramone Preston Enterprises LLC, I can see what the income and expenses are with my investment property. I can see what the income and expenses are with my high liability assets. I can see what the income and expenses are with my intellectual property. I can see what the income and expenses are with my active business. However, although I see that in my accounting system, these need to be separate bank accounts because these are separate entities and you can't mix and mingle money or income that's coming in these companies. But the holding company can decide what each of those companies can do. So you see how that works? And I'm spitting game today, y'all. I hope y'all hear me out there. This is how you use a holding company to invest. So think about over here. I hope I answered that question because I'm getting excited about this. Right. All of this that I'm talking about right now is in our Blueprint Game Plan program. So if you don't have access to that Blueprint Game Plan program, you need to text the word Blueprint so that we can get you access to our Blueprint Game Plan program. We have a whole section teaching about the holding company concept, and we have in that course a free business startup kit, which means I show you how to get your EIN, how to file your LLC, how to categorize it as a holding company, and I have walkthrough tutorial videos to show you each step of the way. So that's going to be very critical for you. Now, you might be an individual that say, you know what, Prophet, I don't want to do all that by myself. Well, you might want to be a part of our one-year coaching program that we just launched last Monday. This one-year coaching program, I'm actually going to be working with you to help you start, structure, and scale your holding company or your organizational enterprise that might also include some type of nonprofit program or foundation. I'm going to be walking you through that process, so you may want to join our coaching program. The good thing about our coaching program is going to be 1 year, and the coaching program is going to be our signature 90-day program that we give you for a year. So you're going to get 4 90-day programs for the price of one 90-day program, and I'm going to give you free access to our Blueprint Game Plan program. So this is how you use a holding company to invest. By the way, if you want to be a part of our one-year coaching program, text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. Text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. But you might be a self-starter. You might be a learner like me where you can self-educate. Then the Blueprint Game Plan will be ideal for you. Either way, I just want to get the information to you so that you can be operating correctly and so that you can get to where you want to go. So this is how you use a holding company to invest.
Somebody said the coaching program is the best deal ever.
The coaching program is the best deal ever. Thank you. That was on Facebook? YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for that. So this is how you use a holding company to invest. Now, if you see this picture I'm showing you, you'll understand why using a holding company to invest is so powerful. So let's say you got your holding company set up, right? Then you got your operating company. So you got Ramone Preston Enterprises, LLC. That's the holding company. Then let's say over here you have an active business. This could be Preston Properties. This could be Ramone Preston University. This could be the RP Consulting Group. It could be multiple active businesses. And then you have intellectual property. This could be RP Publishing, where I publish all of my books and all of my copyrights are protected. This could be high liability assets. This could be a company that I use just to invest in other businesses or to rent equipment out. This is high liability. So I want to make sure that I don't have my other companies exposed if somebody get messed up using some of my equipment. And then I have my investment property over here, or my investment company, where I do real estate investing. Now, the reason why investing through a holding company is so powerful is because, let's say over here, Ramone Preston University makes $1 million this year. Is you prophesying?
They said, thank you, you know your stuff.
Thank you.
It helps them a lot.
Thank you.
They say you know your stuff.
One of our YouTube viewers said, thank you, you know your stuff. Praise God. And it helps them a lot. So that means I'm not capping.
You're not.
I'm not capping. I know what I'm talking about.
You do.
Right. And it's easy for you to know what you're talking about when you're living what you're talking about.
That's it.
Real easy. So my point is, let's say Ramone Preston University, this one business under my holding company, makes $1 million. And so that means I have 1 million pre-tax dollars that I have made, right? So that means if I don't do anything with this $1 million, my active business that just made $1 million is gonna have to pay taxes on what? $1 million if I don't have enough expenses, or if I don't have avenues to push that money, that pre-tax money into. Well, my holding company can say, pay your expenses, pay your employees, and give me the pre-tax money, and I'm gonna move that money over here to your investment. So now when my holding company files its tax paperwork, it's going to show it made $1 million over here. It paid $200,000 or $300,000 in expenses to run that company. The other $700,000 came back to the holding company, the parent company, and the parent company dropped the $700,000 into an investment company, which means that $700,000 pre-tax dollars disappeared.
Wow.
And now it's going out there to make new money, which means on this ledger, that $1 million is not existent.
Somebody said, how much do you make from your business?
How much do I make?
From your business.
Every 12 months?
They didn't say, they just asked a question.
Probably about $500,000. I probably make $1 million this year.
Yeah.
I probably make $1 million. I ain't capping. I ain't gonna say nothing I can't show.
Yeah.
So I'm on course to make $1 million this year. Period. That's why I said $1 million over here.
Yeah. I know.
Because I'm on course through my online training platform to make $1 million.
Yeah. What's the $1 million company?
Yeah. Well, my holding company is already valued at way more than $1 million. So you can do a valuation on your company. This is one of the reasons why you want to have a holding company. See, I can go to any professional firm. I can take my organizational enterprise, my parent umbrella company, with all of its subsidiaries, with all of its divisions, with all of its investments, with all of its intellectual properties and investments. And guess what? I can get a valuation probably today, at this point in 2021, I'll probably get a valuation of close to $2 million, which means if I decided to sell my entire organizational enterprise tomorrow, someone who knows correct corporate valuations of businesses, we're talking about like private equity firms, we're talking about hedge funds on Wall Street, they could buy my company for, let's say, $2 million. And depending on how they evaluate it, most companies in my space, they have a 2 to 3 times valuation of whatever the revenue is. So that means if I made $500,000 in the last 12 months, my trailing 12, If they valuate it times 3, if they give me a 3x valuation just based on my revenue, that could be $1.5 million that they give me. It could be inflated to 5 or 6x. When you go on Shark Tank, if you ever watch Shark Tank, you will hear Mark Cuban them say, or Mr. Wonderful say, how much was your revenue? They'll say, oh, we made $500,000. So why are you valuating your company at $5 million? Well, we put a 10x on our valuation because of the industry that we're in. Mr. Wonderful will come back and say, we can't give you a 10x on that because you hadn't even paid taxes on that 500 grand yet. So we'll give you a 5x, which means your company is not worth $5 million, your company is worth $2.5 million. Now, why would somebody take my organizational enterprise if I'm not capping and give me $2 million for it? You know why? Because they already know within a certain amount of years, based on the money that's coming in my company every 12 months and it's continuing to grow, they know within a certain amount of years they'll get all their money back and still own my company. Wow. And my intellectual property and my image and my likeness or whatever else I sell to them. So my company is already valued at way more than $1 million, probably $2 million, depending on what type of group of people who want to be a part of the industries that I serve. Yeah. So this year, this company is going to make $1 million. Period. That one company is going to make $1 million. Yeah. Ramone, Preston University. So of course it's going to be pushed up, which means it's going to give me leverage to take pre-tax income or revenue here and allocate it to areas even before I have to pay taxes on the net. And that was for free.
Well, make room because you got other companies coming.
Sheesh. And I got plenty other companies coming. And that was for free. And I'm not capping.
You're gonna burn.
And I'm not capping. And I'm glad somebody made that comment earlier about internet gurus and internet people, because they are the ones that a lot of people capping because they know you can't find out the truth. They know you can't find out what's going on.
But I thought you could. Secretary, I thought
You can't find out what people making.
I got you.
You can't find out how much money people got.
Yeah.
You can't hack their bank account. But I know what I got. I know what I made. I know what I'm on course to make, and I know the valuation of my company because I pay professional firms like tax strategists, valuation experts, CPAs, attorneys. My wife and I, we have always paid top dollar to have the best people in our corner. You know why? Because we were building an organizational enterprise. This is how I'm going to become a billionaire. Just like that. So for those of you that YouTube over there jumping today, ain't it? YouTube over there jumping today.
Yeah, they ready.
That's why when that gentleman asked me that question, remember he asked me that question? So do you consider yourself a millionaire?
Yeah.
I mean, I was capping a little bit because I was like, yeah.
You do.
But I know I might not have 1 million right here in cash, but Jay-Z ain't got $1 billion in cash.
Yeah, I got you.
He a billionaire though.
Yeah.
So how is Jay-Z a billionaire if he doesn't have $1 billion in cash? His net worth, his company is valued at $1 billion or more because of all the active businesses, all the intellectual property, all the assets and investments that he has. It is valuated at a certain dollar amount. That's how you get to those valuations. But you can't get to those valuations if you're not playing this kind of game. That's why I'm trying to tell our people, like everyday people, you don't have to wait until you got $1 million to create a holding company and have an enterprise so that you can actually put yourself in a best position to minimize your liabilities and maximize your advantages. Casey said, we're billionaires, period. We skipping millions. I know I am. I'm going to be a billionaire. I don't care. God give me strength, give me life, give me time on this earth. I know what I'm building, and I'm a marathon runner, so I'm not in a rush. I'm not trying to like tear down other people to get to where I'm going. I want to build people up to help get to where I'm going. That's one of the reasons why in our coaching program, I have a commitment to at least have 10 people that I can take to 6 figures. That's my seed. That's my seed in 2021 to sow into the $1 million this business over here is going to make. That's my seed. Because that one business over here for me is going to make $1 million this year. And my seed is 100,000. So I want to take 10 people and I want to push them into 6 figures to make at least 100,000. If I can get 10 people to make $100,000, that means that's $1 million that was circulated in a group of people that I personally coached. But guess what? You need to get in that coaching program. Now, we have a coaching program currently that is a 90-day coaching program. It's a $5,000 business coaching program. Me and everybody else who's been coached by me knows that it's worth it. So what we're doing with this 1-year coaching program, if you don't know about it, is we're taking, let me put my screen back up. In our coaching program, can I find that? There we go. In our coaching program, I'm giving you 4 90-day coaching programs for the price of 1. So if you were typically participating in our coaching program, that's if I didn't offer this exclusive 1-year business coaching program, that means if you just called me before last Monday and said, Prophet Ramone, I want you to coach me, you would have signed up for a 90-day coaching program that's on our university platform right now, and that 90-day coaching program would have been $5,000. It's worth way more than $5,000 because most people make that money back in the first 30 days, especially if they do what I coach them to do. So my point is, today and for the next week or so, as long as they keep pulling my teeth to extend it, I am offering 4 90-day coaching programs for the price of 1. So instead of you paying $20,000 for me to coach you for a year, you're going to pay $5,000. And then I'm only asking for you to make a $1,000 deposit, and then we're going to spread the difference over the course of the 12 months. But wait, there's more. If you have already purchased a blueprint game plan, I will deduct that purchase from the price of our coaching. If you have never purchased a blueprint game plan, I can't deduct the price of the blueprint, but I'm going to actually give you access for the whole year to our blueprint game plan program. You can't beat it. If you get coaching from me and my team and my company for 1 year, and you still struggling a year from now, it's definitely nobody's fault but yours. Because you ain't finna blame me. So I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was lit today. How to use a holding company to invest. If you want to join our coaching program, you got to get that deposit in. I'm telling y'all, there's going to be some people regretting this, but once I close it, the only coaching program that's going to be available is that 90-day coaching program. And you ain't going to call me in June and say, pretty please with sugar on top, can you let me in? No, dog. No, boo. We can't do it. You missed the cloud because you were stuck listening to the crowd, because I want to bring some people to 6 figures and beyond.
Actually, one of your coaching, that you're coaching now, she twice. She came up twice. And she was like, 1 year coaching, y'all better get this coaching. She's telling everybody to get coaching, so Montoya Jared telling everybody.
What's she on?
She's on Facebook.
She's on Facebook. Okay, thank you, Montoya.
Yeah.
Montoya is one of our coaching clients, her and her husband, 2 times the coaching client.
Yes.
And thank you so much. She says if you are watching and listening, I see her comment right here. She says, don't think you can't afford it. Find the money. It's worth it. Small investment, huge return. Thank you, Montoya. I certainly appreciate that. You and your husband are such a blessing. I have to tell you, Montoya, you and your husband encourage me to keep our coaching program going. My daughter and my wife, they talked me into providing coaching. I'm a consultant. I like consulting. If you go to my consulting website, the RP Consulting Group, that's a professional division of my enterprise, the RP Consulting Group, and we provide consulting from $6-7 grand to 20 grand. And the people that we have consulted, we're talking about investors, people who have 10, 15 properties in their portfolio. We have consulted other companies that work with multi-million-dollar real estate development groups, associations. Listen, we ain't been up here in Buckhead just playing around. We ain't been in the ecosystem of these multi-billion-dollar real estate deals playing around. We've been grinding it out. And here's the thing. We was getting crumbs in some of these deals, but just to have access to the experience and the expertise and to be able to polish our skill up so that we can come to the people that never get access to the world that we have had access to. We've tried our best to make that possible. And so we knew that the consulting was a higher tier product and service that we were providing. And so with the coaching program, it was more personal. It was more relevant to a lot of the people that we started coming into contact with just last year. When did I launch the coaching program? Like last year, yeah. September, October? Mm-hmm. I just launched the coaching program. Yeah. They kept begging me, please. I was like, I don't want to coach. I just don't have time because I give people too much and I already know I can do the same thing as a consultant. But they continue to ask me, please. And then we had a couple like Montoya and her husband to come along, and we appreciate them so dearly because you really encouraged me to keep going. I was like, I'm gonna see how this works. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what I know, but I'm like, man, I'm giving a whole lot away. Thank you, Montoya. Montoya, she says, you're needed in this time. Watch what happens to your business. Oh my. And those that invest in themselves through you. It's going to be amazing. Trust me, people, get this. And don't be trying to get it for free on the sly. You won't be blessed if you do. Come on through here, Montoya. Wow. I really appreciate that. Thank you so kindly. I appreciate that. I love y'all so much. Thank all of you for your support. Again, if you want to join our one-year business coaching program, I'm giving you 4 90-day programs for the price of one. And I'm allowing you to spread the payments out throughout the course of the year. And once you make the deposit, we're going to send you a link so that you can fill out our initial assessment form. Once we receive the initial assessment form and we close this offer up within the next week or so, we're going to be reaching back out to you to do a phone conference call. We're going to go over the 1-year schedule that we already have planned. We're going to go over our coaching agreement with you because this is a commitment that you're going to have to make for an entire year. And once we complete that phone conference call, we will get back with you leading up to April 1st when the 1-year coaching program kicks off, and we're going to schedule our first one-on-one session with you, whether it's in person, if you're here, or if you can fly here and get here, or if it's via Zoom. And in that first one-on-one session, we will map out a game plan for this 1 year along with the schedule, and your life is going to change forever. I know it's going to change. I know it's going to change. So I appreciate all of y'all for being a part. Man, I hope y'all learned something today on how to use a holding company to invest. If you learned something, please give me some feedback. Make sure that you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Please be sure to go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We are about 100 and something away from 2,000 subscribers. So we're so appreciative to all of our YouTube tribe members. Of course, our Facebook tribe members, you all have been so faithful and you've been right there with us. So I appreciate you very, very kindly. This week, our theme is on investing. So tomorrow we're going to go deeper into investing. We're going to be talking about holding companies all week long because most of our investing needs to be in our holding companies. And so I'm going to show you other investment strategies that you're going to be able to use even through or with your holding company and how it ties into some of the basic day-to-day things that you're already doing, like taking care of your family, like paying bills, like giving your kids an allowance. We want to talk about how we can integrate those day-to-day things into your holding company for the purpose of investing. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Yes, Vaughn, thank you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick off our first clubhouse room. We're going to kick off our first clubhouse room. One of our team members, our squad members, Millionaire Enterprises, she's been working with me and really like pulling my teeth and my hair, the little hair I got, the little nubs. I got some nubs up there. What do you call it? Like some peach fuzz? Yeah. She's been pulling out my little peach fuzz and the few teeth I do got to get me on Clubhouse and to host not just a room, but to host a club. But because I haven't been on Clubhouse at all, just maybe a couple times, Clubhouse rule says before we let you open a club, you got to open up a room and you got to get some activity, dog. You got to get somebody on there, bro. You ain't finna just be on here hacking and capping now. So tonight, we're going to do our first Clubhouse room. It's going to be centered around business and the prophetic. Of course, Prophet Ramone is a business person, so why not have a club room on business and the prophetic? So it's going to be what time tonight? 8 o'clock, I think we said. 8 o'clock tonight. I'll be sending out some notifications as well. You'll probably see me on social media. You'll probably get an email if you're on our email list and our text list. But if you have the capabilities, that means if you have some type of Apple device, you can download the Clubhouse app and join me tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. If you have any questions on how to integrate that, or if you want to join that one-year coaching program and you got that thou wow, you better make that deposit, because I just told my daughter yesterday, I'm like, I'm about to close this thing up on Friday. I'm about to close it on Friday because I ain't got time to play. So I might close it Friday. I might close the one-year coaching program offer Friday. And I'm telling you, if I close it, I'm not opening it back up because I've given people a chance. And the people who get in it, I know what I'm going to be giving them. I'm investing the next year of my life to help them. And when I say my life, I'm investing your life, my wife, I'm investing my company, my resources. And so it's important for me to make sure that people take it serious. I ain't got time to be playing with losers anyway. So y'all know how I get down, huh? Believe that. So Friday may be the last day. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But please don't hold your breath on me, because you know I come in here Friday and be like, it's closed.
No.
It's a wrap.
No.
It's over. I'll see y'all tonight, 8 o'clock on Clubhouse, and we'll be back here tomorrow. We're going to be talking all week about investing. We're going to be talking about investing through holding companies, different ways and strategies that we can do it, and how we can maximize this holding company concept. I love y'all so much.